Oh god, I have to sneeze. Oh god, Jesus Christ. God, this camera really shows way too much of my damn room. But anyway, look how bright it is. Anyway, so Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills. Yo. Oh man, it's good to see good horror, man. Did I just say good horror? Yeah, goddamn accent. It's good to see good horror. Or as some people where I'm from say, horror. Anyway, so, good horror, of course. We all know that this is the new Halloween trilogy. Of course, we had Halloween 2018, and then this is Halloween Kills, and I think the third one is actually going to be Halloween Dies. I think that's what they're naming it. Anyway. Oh wow, you can actually see my arm fully extend, unlike before. Look at that. Won't you look at that? Anyway, so, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Like, Michael Myers kills a bunch of motherfuckers, and this was fun to see. Oh my god, sorry. I'm like, crank it down a little. Yeah. Oh god, now you're seeing too much of my floor. Alright, so, god damn it. Anyway, so, like, anywho, fucking, I'll go into spoilers, you know, in a wee bit, but yes, Halloween Kills. I watched it on Peacock because it's free to like everyone and all that stuff, and I didn't have to be in the movie theaters and pay extra money because I don't have that right now. Nor was I like, oh great, I have to gauge like if this is gonna be like an audience that can behave. You know, I was lucky that when I saw the 2018 Halloween that people were behaving, but there are times when you're watching horror films, it's like when I went to go see Us with Paul, the people next to us were just so annoying. They were like, come on, like, you know, there's a what do you call that? A title credit sequence, and they were just like, yes, phone. They were just like, oh my god, like annoyed, you know. But then when scary stuff happened, then they were like cowering in their seats, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys are annoying. But anyway, yeah, watching it at home, it's good. You know, I woke up this morning, you know, had some cereal, and then I was like, ooh, while I'm like eating my cereal, I'm just like, kill everyone, you know, all that stuff. I know a lot of people last night, like when it dropped at midnight, they were watching it. I had stuff to do because as an unemployed person, apparently you end up working more than when I was employed, so that's something. Anywho, yeah, like, it's not spoilers saying that Michael Myers kills a bunch of people, but, alright, let me go into spoilers, 1, 2, 3 spoilers. So, Jamie Lee Curtis is not in the movie as much as she was in the first one, which is fine, because she's got, like, the tummy wound, you know, the horror film, like, oh, tummy wound, I'm fine, I'll get up, oh no, it hurts again, oh, you know, like, the tummy wound. Oh my god, kind of like, what's her name in, like, Prometheus, where she, like, literally had, like, surgery. She's like, I need it before, but it's, like, abortion. Oh my god, and she's just, blah, 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 and then she's just running around with stitches, because, like you do, it's fine. It's the tummy wound, where easily you're like, oh, it hurts, but I'm good, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's I had it, I think, on like my Tumblr or something, but it's the meme, it's the SpongeBob meme. They're like, how many times do we have to teach you, old man? Like that's what this movie was like, the mob mentality of being like, we gotta kill Michael Myers, you know, that kind of stuff. I do like that they brought back a lot of the people that were in like the previous other movies, you know, brought them back, and of course kill most of them except for one, which she'll probably be in, you know, the final movie. Like, I think that was a good idea for them to do that. And then who's fuck it? What the fuck is wrong with my camera? Yeah, I think that's great for them to do that, and then also for them to kind of like do like a quick flashback of who they were in like the old movies, just to be like, you know, like these are the original actresses and actors for it and all that stuff. I do like that, like when the movie began, they quickly like inserted some extra stuff, you know, some extra backstory from like the 1978 one, and they also kind of like filmed it like it looked like it was filmed back in the day, which I thought that was great. I don't know why I feel like I'm so far away from this camera. Jesus Christ. It was like in a little corner, and like the whole thing. I feel like I should put like a video game here or something. There's just so much space. But yeah, like yeah, they filmed it with that kind of like, it's kind of misty out, kind of shit, you know. But it's definitely very much the little, like a little smudge of Vaseline over the lens kind of feel. Like, I love that they kind of gave you that old feel again, which was awesome. Yeah, and then they had like the 1978 mask again. They had a different actor to be Michael for that. And I like in the newer one, the burnt mask is great. I love that in this one they did like remove his mask, but he didn't like show his face. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like in the first movie where you see the back of his head, like he's far away, he's kind of blurred. I like that they didn't really like show his face, because like sometimes it's like, what was it like in the original one where he like gets unmasked and he's like just like pretty guy with like a wonky eye, and it was kind of like, oh, okay, like, all right. And now, oh man, and I love that because he is an old man, like as much as he's like intimidating and scary when he's walking, he's still got that old man lumber when he's walking. So he's like big, scary, but he's still kind of like, my knees, a little bit of my ankles, that kind of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. I do like that the Strode DNA is in all the ladies just kind of like fighting for it, and love that like Laurie Strode's daughter's name is Karen, and of course like she has very Karen tendencies, in the other movie and in this one as well, just to kind of like she's trying to be like, okay, my mom is crazy, and let me just like let's not do this kind of stuff. Like there's got to be a better way, where her daughter, Laurie Strode's granddaughter, is like, like let's kill, like let's like all that stuff, which I think is great. That it's just like her grandma was like, who cares, man. The scene where like the mob goes and they're just like gonna start like gonna kill like the wrong guy and all that stuff. It was just like, yeah, I love that like freaking Anthony Michael Hall was like, I'm just gonna round up a bunch of crazy people from the Midwest and be like, you got weapons, you got guns? I'm like, it's the Midwest, honey, of course they do. And they're just like, okay, we're gonna go after this guy, and it's like, all right, this guy, and then they go after the wrong guy, obviously. Stupid. Yeah, we need, like, again, that Michael wasn't gonna die, because again, like, that's just slasher film logic, is that they never die, especially like in the end when he's like being shot at like a bajillion times and like stabbed and beaten and all that stuff, and then he just lays there just kind of like I think he's like, let me just count to 10, and then he's like like killing everyone. And then maybe, in the final movie, him and Laurie both die, maybe yes, maybe no, maybe it's gonna be one of those, ooh, he's dead and Laurie's definitely dead, but oh no, he got up, that kind of stuff, where it's like he fell off of the roof and then you look outside and he's gone, you're like, how did that happen, that kind of shit, because that's what happens in these movies. But it's so good to just see like a good horror film, just because like horror gets constantly overlooked as like something good, because it could get very hokey, and I talk about that a lot, and then it could get like really like art housey, like the fuck am I watching kind of shit, like all right, and again, like I was saying with like something like with Malignant, it's when you have the right budget, you can make something good, and I know a lot of people actually like, there was a lot of people who like really hated Malignant, and I'm like, come on, man, like you can't take that seriously. You really can't take that movie seriously. This one, funny enough, you can kind of take it a little bit more seriously, because I think this was like one of the slasher movies that like was like panned as like good horror, back in 1978. They're like, oh, this is good stuff, it's not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it was just like, it's just blah blah blah, there's more thought, all that kind of stuff. My nose, fucking allergies. The kills were great. There's like the part where like the girl's like shooting, and then Michael like hits the car door and she just shoots herself, and I was just like, That was so good. And there's a lot of people like, obviously not knowing how to handle guns, and I love how a lot of people have like revolvers and forgetting to count, and they're like, so she's the one lady from the movie, the lady who came back, and then she's like, "This is for Loomis," click click click, and I'm like, oh my god. I like how in the entire movie they kept saying, they're like, "It's not your fault, Laurie, it's Loomis's," and like we all know that. We know it's Loomis's fault because he's a weird motherfucker, was obsessed with this kid, It's not your fault, that kind of stuff. Because that's English that came out of my mouth. Yeah, oh, I do like that they kind of like, superimpose footage of Loomis into the movie, and it didn't look like, wow, that's CGI, like, yes, you can tell, but it's not like, these are some weird ones and zeros staring at me and I'm feeling uncomfortable. So yeah, like, I really like this movie. I love what they've done. I love what this director's been doing with this movie. I love freaking, like, I think I said this back in 2018, but I love that Danny McBride is part of this. I love Danny McBride, and I love that people were like surprised that he was like doing horror because he's a comedy guy, but it's like, come on, man. A lot of like people who are comedy people are like huge fans of horror, like, oh, and then what's his name who does the effects for this movie? He worked on, I think, Fear Street, the Netflix thingy. He's good. I hate it. It sucks that on his Instagram he doesn't allow you to share his posts to stories. I'm constantly being like weird and being like, let me screenshot it and like be like, he did the thing. Anyway, yeah, the effects were great. The blood, there was a lot of neck wounds in this one, a lot of slices, a lot of gunshots, a lot of that happening, which I love. It's really good stuff. Crushed skulls. Oh my god, the scene where it's like the firefighters get fucked up. Oh my god, just all the crushed pelvises. Anyway, again, you can see his old lumbering self being like, God, my knees, just this arthritis is killing me, but I must kill because I'm evil, Michael Myers and stuff. I love how they're like, the one guy was saying like, he always, what was it, like, he wanders around, he sneaks around, and then he goes home, and I'm like, what are you, like a confused dad? You're just like, I went to Home Depot, I didn't know what else to do, so then I went home. Like, they're like, oh no, we lost dad, where is he? Have you checked Home Depot? Yes, let's go. That's what it makes me think of, like, did you lose your dad? He's at Home Depot. Let's go, guys. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I love this. God, it's like, it feels good to be back again, that kind of stuff. The new Scream trailer dropped, and it's like, oh hey, I think they're gonna try to do something like this, where it's like, hey, it's the continuation thing of all the stuff back in the day, and a lot of people feel that Matthew Lillard is gonna be Ghostface again because of just how tall and twinkish Ghostface looks and all that stuff, and I think Matthew Lillard even said he's like, oh yeah, by horror movie standards, he's like, well, Stu's alive, but Billy's dead, which I find funny. But yeah, blah, blah, blah. I think, oh god, there was supposed to be like a third like collector movie, and then they ended up like, just because of the pandemic, they ended up just like not filming. They're like, we're done, we're not doing this anymore. And it was like, okay, because they had like released like, like not behind the scenes, but like kind of like, look, like set photos, and it's like, oh my god, but then that ended up being Axe, which I'm like, wow, that sucks. And I think they want to do another Texas Chainsaw movie. I think they were gonna call this one also Leatherface, like it was just gonna be another Leatherface movie, but I don't know if that's still gonna be a thing, because initially I think like this summer, this autumn, there was going to be like a slew of them. It was going to be like, obviously, Halloween, it was going to be collectors, it was like a lot of like, horror sequels and stuff like that. The redo of Wrong Turn was released. That was a movie, but yeah, anyway, with horror and all that stuff. But yay, I finally got to see a movie like when it came out instead of like a month later. Look at me, I did the thing, whoa. Oh god. Zoomers hate when millennials say you did the thing. Whatever. I did the fucking thing. I have a mortgage to pay. You fucking do a thing. Anyway. Bye.